Hey, welcome everybody. In this video, we are going to go over how to make AI mugs. So essentially, you don't really have to have a whole lot of design skill because I'm going to walk you through step by step on how we created this design using AI, Canva, and some of my other favorite tools that I use throughout the design process. So you're definitely going to want to stick to the end, watch the video to the end. So we can all do this together. So the first thing that I love to do is head over to insightfactory.app, which is the tool that I use to search for Etsy trending terms. So we all know that Father's Day is coming up. So what I want to do is type in Father's Day mug because I just want to browse and see what is actually going on right now, what mugs are actually trending, and just all different types of things. So as you can see, we are sorting by the sales potential. And I'll also have a link below for Insight Factory. And you can see that we have Daddy Mug with fist bump, fist bump. There's a lot of fist bumps going on. Fist bump, fist bump, fist bump. So to me, that is a huge indicator that fist bump is definitely trending. I really love this superheroes mug. And then I'm just going to go to the third page. And as you can see, Father's Day mug, the fist pump as well. So we're going to go with the fist pump. We're looking at that. And then we're going to look at the actual superhero. So I like that one as well. And that's how I ultimately ended up here with wanting to go with the superheroes, just with a different design. So here is the superheroes mug. And this here just shows you the 7-day sales. So you can see you have the Super Mario, Super Dad, again, fist bumps, all different types of things. You have the superhero dad. So I love that. So we could also look at this, the crafty mug. And the cool thing is that when you click on these, you also are able to get straight to the listing. So this is just a PNG listing, which is awesome. So you're able to just download this design and someone can actually use it and they can put it on a mug as such. So I'm going to show you all how to do that as well. You can look at the listing, right? So it's for an 11-ounce mug design wrap, and it is 1 PNG, okay? So we're going to go ahead and look at some of the fist bumps as well. And that's the Daddy's Team's mug. So we're going to look at this one as well. So just to give you some idea on how you can go around and search. So that is basically how we use Insight Factory. We look at the sales, we look at the sales potential, we look at what's trending. I really love this Daddy's Team as well. So I'm just giving you all some ideas on what it is that you can do. So I decided to go with superhero, but you also have Daddy's Team, which is really unique. So we'll open up those listings as well, because this could be something that you could potentially start to sell too. And I really love this. So we're going to wait for that to load. So now that we've decided that we're going to do the superhero, I really want to go on just the regular Etsy shop, and I want to type in Father's Day mug. So we're going to go ahead and search for Father's Day mug. And we're actually on just the regular Etsy site. I love to do this in an incognito browser. So you can definitely search this. And as you can see, look here, you see those t-shirt mugs. Really cool, really nice, very trendy. You can see here the Super Daddy-O, the one we looked at. You can see here the fist bumps. So this is so good, right? You see the superhero stuff here, Unbreakable Bond, Star Wars. Here is another one. This is really cool, the superheroes fist bump. Really love those. So we are on the right track. So I decided to go with the superhero because that seems to be something really nice. And I think that's a great gift for Father's Day. So that's what I'm going to go with. And that's how we ultimately ended up with that design. So you could go scroll through the couple of pages, and just kind of look at some insight and get some ideas. And this is really nice. So look, these are the superhero. So it's a spin of the superhero with the fist. This is really awesome and cool too. Look at this, another superhero, personalized superhero. I love this so much. This is really nice. I want to open that one up, and we're going to keep scrolling down. So I think we have a good idea on what it is that we can create. So now I'm going to do Black Dad mug, right? Because I want to create something for the African American, because we don't really see a lot of images underneath just Father's Day mug. So I'm going to just see what's trending right now in the African American category. So we see Black fatherhood, which I really love, right? Because fatherhood is so important. And I love these, right? As you can see, here's the fist again, right? Trending. Dope Black Dad. I love that a lot. And we're going to keep going down. I love this nutrition facts. In fact, the part of the mug that I did was going to be nutrition facts. So I really love that as well. All right. So we're just going to keep scrolling. I love this definition. And this is just to get an idea of what it is if you want to add it. So I really like this Black father nutritional facts. So I'm going to open this up as well, because now you get to get some insight on something that you can do too. So as you can see, the Black nutrition facts is something that's really popular as well. It's showing up. So you have one here, and then you have some colored ones as well too. So I like to keep it nice and simple because we're going to do it on a white mug, but you can add in some different things as well. So we'll look at that, and you can look at that, and you can just gain inspo from what you see on here. So now that we have what it is that we need, now we need to go over to Chat GPT. And when we go to Chat GPT, I already have a prompt that I've created, and I'll link below. But here's the prompt that I wanted to create. So create a watercolor illustration of an African-American superhero. You can change the colors. So I put here, he is wearing black and purple. He has a beard, a cape, and superhero features, and he has a toddler son with matching outfit on his neck, right? So when you click this prompt, which I'm going to show you an illustration below on how to do it, but I also want to just show you that you can simply hit here if you don't like what you see, and you could click regenerate, and it will regenerate another image for you. And let's just see. So we're going to let that load. And while that's loading, I'm going to copy this because I'm going to change it. Let's just say you have a daughter. I'm going to change it to a little girl, and we're going to do one just like that. And we're waiting for it to load. All right. So I'm just going to gather up the prompt, right? So here's another one that's a little tilted, but you have another one that we've been able to create. So now I'm going to do, he's wearing black and purple. He has a toddler daughter. And now we're going to do one for a daughter, right? So now when we do one with a daughter, we'll look at the feature that we can get for a daughter, right? So now when we're looking at the daughter, we'll see what we get for this one. Oh, look at that. So beautiful. I love it. She has the heart. It's just so adorable. So I'm going to regenerate again because I just want to see what different variations we can get. But I love the daughter one, and you can create like matching mugs as well, which is cool. So you can do one for father and son, one for father and daughter, which is what you want to do. You want to be able to have a variety. So I love this. So what I'll do is I'll hit this arrow that's pointing down, and you'll click the download, and it'll go to your downloads, right? It'll show up in your downloads folder, and you'll download that as well. So now that you have your images that you want to use, you'll head over here to Bigjpg. But before you get here, because you want to upscale your image, I want to actually bring in the full image into Canva, because before we actually upscale it, I want to put the design together. Because as you can see here, we have the super dad, and then we also have the Black father nutrition facts, which is what I decided to do for the second part of the design. And you could put it in words that you want. So I just describe characteristics of a father, fatherhood, handyman, superhero, leadership, funny, right? And then this is the image, and this is how we got here. So we're going to go ahead and show how we actually created this design here and how you would go about doing this. All right, so you're going to go to home on Canva, so canva.com, and then we're going to go to create design, and we're going to go to custom size, and I'm just going to do 3000 by 3000 pixels to actually design it, and then I'm going to click create new design. So you can actually create a new design for the custom feature. I don't know if you have to have Canva Pro. I think you do to have to do a custom size, but you would do 3000 by 3000 pixels, and this will open up into this design here, and you'll have a design space and this will be 3000 by 3000. So now that we have the actual design, we're just going to go at the bottom here and we're going to just zoom out a little bit so I can see the full square. And then I'm going to go to uploads because remember when we downloaded from Chat GPT? I want to go to my uploads because it's going to go into your downloads folder. And I want to go ahead and take those images that were just downloaded and I want to upload into the file, right? So here we have these here and here it is. And we have this design here and we'll go ahead just so I can show you how to do this. You'll bring this design in, right? And then I'm going to edit this image and I'm going to remove this background, right? So I'm going to remove the background and then we're going to talk about how we got the letters, the comic style letters. So remove the background. Now we're going to go to elements and then we're going to go, I'm going to type in comic letters, right? Because I want to actually use comic style letters just to keep the theme. And here's the letter that I chose and it's called 3D letter S comic style. And what I'm going to do is when you click these three dots, you'll see it's going to say see more like this. And you're able to pull up all the other letters like this. Now you do have to have the pro version, but if you want to search by free version, all you have to do is click on this filter here and you'll click down and you'll click free and it'll show you all the free letters that they have in comic style. And you can certainly use these letters as well. But I'm going to use, since I have the actual pro version, I'm going to use these comic style letters here, right? And then what I want to do is I'm just going to move this design out the way to the side for now. And I'm going to bring this in and I'm just going to adjust this. So I'm going to change the color. So, right? So now we're just going to bring in all the letters. So I'm going to bring in all the letters first just to make it easier. And then I'm going to start changing the colors for everything, right? So I'm going to still go with the super dad. All right. Now we're going to look for an E. And then we're going to do for an R. All right. And then we got the D. We're going to go with the A. And then because it's already going to be a D here, I'm just going to copy this D once we get there. So now I'm going to zoom in some because I just want to make sure all my letters are lined up, right? So now we're going to go ahead and just change the colors. And you would change the colors to whatever it is that you want. I'm keeping it underneath the purple theme. Just know that you want to make sure you're changing the colors to match the same palette colors here at the top. All right. All right. So now we're just simply going in, we're changing the colors to make sure that everything matches, everything is aligned, right? All right. So I love it, right? So we have everything here. And now here's the fun part. Now we just need to adjust the letters. I always want to make it even. And then I'm just bringing them over as close as I can. And as you can see, they're lined up. It will show you with the purple lines. Right? And now we're just bringing them in together. Right? So I want to make this just a tad bit smaller. Same thing here. Right? And now we're going to do the same thing here. And again, I'm just going to duplicate this. So this square with another square on top with the plus button is a duplicate button. It allows you to duplicate the same actual thing. So we're going to move in just a little bit, right? And we're going to move this in just a little bit just to reduce as much space as possible. So now it's just about zooming in and just making the letters, right? Without clicking this. So we're going to move this out the way. So again, you'll hold the shift key down. And when you do, it'll ask you to group it. You can group it that way. Or you can actually highlight it with your mouse. If you have a mouse, you just want to make sure you highlight all the letters, right? Everything that shows up without actually highlighting that picture. And you put group, right? So now that we have that, we're going to zoom back out here at the bottom, right? Because now we're able to adjust this. the way we want it. And now we'll just have to adjust it according to where we want the letters to go, right? So we'll make this smaller. We'll move this over. This is where I want it to be, right? And then let's bring this out without it kind of bleeding to the edge of the paper. All right. And now we'll just make this smaller. Just enough to be able to be right there. Let's just move this up just a little bit. Right. So I love the way this is looking. So, and now we'll just move this over. Right. And again, you could take your mouse or you could hold the shift key and you could group this together. And now we can move this together. And I'm just going to click the undo so I can bring it back. So now we have the design in which we want to use. Right. So I love the way this looks. And now we just want to go ahead and touch up the actual picture. So I just want to get kind of the graininess, even though it's watercolor, I just want to make the texture a bit smoother. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I mean. So here is kind of like the graininess inside of it. So I just want to smooth this out. So I'm going to head over to bigjpg.com. But before I do that, I want to make sure I save it. So we're on page 3. So I'm going to go to share. I'm going to click on download. I'm going to do transparent background. And basically that's going to remove the white background from the back. And I'm just going to make sure that I'm doing page 3. Right? So doing page 3. And then we're going to click download. All right. So it's going to go to download. Now we're going to go over to bigjpg.com. You can only do 2 images at a time in the free version. And we're going to go to open and then we're going to click start. I'm going to bring it up 4 times because you have to have the paid version, right? So we're going to do that. And then we're going to press OK. And then we're going to press start. All right. So now it's uploading. So the quality of the picture is now going to upload. So we're going to head back over because now we want to go ahead and look at the images though, right? So as you can see here, this here is the second image, the first image that we originally did with the sun. And if you zoom in, you'll see like the features, right, are less grainy, still watercolor look, but look at the original image here. You see how that is with the bigjpg.com will allow you to do in your images. It just makes it much cleaner in the face. And that's just a preference, right? So that's totally awesome. And I'm just moving that up so we can see. Now we're going to talk about the Black Father nutrition facts. So this is the second part of the mug. All right. So we'll look at, so this again, this is quote caps for the smaller part of the nutrition fact. And then for the larger part, we're going to use Boldini. So we're going to go back to text. We'll just exit out and we could go ahead and hit here, right? And we could change it. It's on Canva Sans. We're going to change it to Boldini, FLF, right? And then now we're just going to type in. All right. And I'm just going to zoom out some again, because I want to be able to look at the full document. And now it's just all about lining up everything that I want to line up. And then we're going to duplicate this. Again, to duplicate, you'll click on it and you'll click this duplicate button. And we're going to click Black Father. And then I want to bold it, right? Because I want it nice and bold. So we're going to just, because I want it to be nice and even with each other. So we're just going to put this on top of each other. So I'm going to group and then just make sure this is in the middle, right? So next up, we're going to go over to elements and we'll go back over here to shapes. So you'll type in shapes, right? And then I'm going to take a square, right? And I'm just going to move this square to where I want it to be, right? So we're going to get it to here. And I'm just making everything even. So now when I go back, this here is no color. This is going to remove the green shade, right? Because it's going to make it transparent. And now we're going to click on the border style because we want the border weight of the lines, right? And we're going to bring up the lines just to be a little thick, right? So I think this is pretty good. And I'm going to bring in another square. And the reason why I'm going to bring in another square is because I want to bring it into the middle, just so we can see where the middle of it is. but I'm going to change it and I'm going to make it white. So it blends in and it kind of creates that split in the middle. And now we're going to head back over the text again. And again, we'll just put this text in, but we're going to actually use quote caps, right? Right. And the first thing we want to do is put nutrition facts, right? Because that's where we want to go here. And now we're going to go ahead and type out just the characteristics. Now you can put whatever you want here. And now I'm actually zooming in because at this point, I want to check to make sure leadership. So now I'm just going to type in all the things that I want. Fatherhood, leadership, funny, handyman, and then what was the other one that I had? Superhero, of course. All right, so now we're just going to make it even. So, all right, so now I'm just going to make sure everything is even. And you could just line it up, right? You could line it up, make sure everything is even. And now we're going to go back over to elements and we're going to click line. We're going to search line and we're going to bring in a line. So I like to bring in, hold on. Let's not do that. So I like to bring in this line right here. But before I do that, I'm going to actually duplicate this because I want to be able to put the 100% in, right? Because I want it to be in here and see how even it is, right? So, all right. So now it's all about just getting the dotted line. So when you go in, now that you have the line, we're going to click here. You can use this, you can use this, whatever you decide. I'm using the last one, and this is how you make it just a little thick, right? So I'm going to keep it at 9. And now I'm just going to duplicate it. Now, it's going to be easier for you to manually actually bring in the lines because it just makes it a little bit easier. But for the sake of the video, you can get it to however you want it to go. And we're just going to bring this out. Right? And now we're just bringing the lines over. Right? And now we're just bringing it over. So now it's just all about making it even. And we're just going to duplicate this because the 100 needs to be even. Right? Yep. And we just want to make sure that the lines are even. So, all right. So we just want to make sure that the lines are straight. That one looks a little crooked. So what I would do is I would delete that. I would delete this line. I'm just going to bring this one back in again. Right? So now we have the facts. All right. So now we have the facts here. And you'll just fix it up, right? You'll make sure everything is even. So you'll eye it and you'll look at it just so you know, like everything is even, everything lines up the way you want it to be according to the lines. Since we're doing this pretty manual, right? So now I'm just moving everything down. Right? So I love this. So I would make the funny last. So you could like fix it up how you want it to go, but I would put funny last because it's the longest line. So I'm just kind of like that. So I would do it that way. But for time's sake, we'll do it this way. Like this was like perfect the way, right? Because funny was last, which is the longest line. So you could actually do that. And we can actually just go ahead and do that now. So we'll just group that. And we'll just group this so we could. And we'll move that up. Right? All right. So boom. Now we there because that would bother me. So I'm glad that we were able to fix that. Okay, so now we have that here. So now we have also the back side of the image. So we have this. So now that we have both our images, I'm going to go ahead and check. And I'm going to download. And hopefully the image is not too big. It's 5.37 megabytes, which is good. So we'll download this because you can only download, I believe, 25 megabytes inside of Canva. So sometimes when you use this, it makes the image too large. So then you have to go ahead and resize it. But I want to go ahead and download this. Okay. So it looks like it's downloaded. It looks like it's 23 megabytes. So we should be good. And we're going to go back to uploads. And we're going to upload the file because now we want to get the nice design inside of here without that grainy look. Okay. So now it's going to upload to your uploads. And then you're going to be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. So we're going to go back up. All right. So this is the original design. And we're going to add in the one that we just upscaled. And again, we can zoom in because you can see, again, the look. So we're just going to wait for it to download. And I'm just waiting for it to download any day now. All right. So we'll go ahead and bring it in. Right. So we just got, I always just bring it all the way up to the four corners, right? All right, here we go. So now you see the difference, like look at the difference, right? It just takes out those features. And just when you're using AI, you always want to pay attention to the ears, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the hands, the feet. That's what they tend to mess up a lot. So you always want to count to make sure that they have it. But again, we'll go ahead and go with this design because this is the 5. So I'm going to move this other design up because, again, this is the one we just did. So I'm just going to move that up so I could keep them right next to each other. All right. So now we have the one side of the mug and we have the other side of the mug, right? So this is how we ended up here, which is the nutrition facts and then the super dad. So that is how we ended up here. And then we'll go, the last step is to actually put this on a mockup. But I have to do one thing, and this is just the way that I do it. I want to take out this white box, but sometimes when you do manual lines, you have to connect it. So I want to be able to just take out the white box. So what I do is I duplicate the original design and then I take out nutrition facts, right? Because I want to get rid of this white box that we created, which is right here, right? So I wanted to go ahead and delete this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and download page 6 as a PNG with a transparent background. All right. So this is a little trick that I do. And there's many ways to do it. I like this way the best. So now I'm going to go back to uploads. We're going to upload that because I want to make sure that I take out the white. As you can see, you'll see it's a white box. I don't want that white box to be there. So I'm just going to make another page. And if you click here to add a page. And now I'm just going to spread this. All right. So now once we erase it, again, we'll go back into Magic Eraser. We'll erase that out. Once we erase the design. All right. Looks like we have a little frozen. So again, we're going to take this, and again, you could take this down. We're going to erase the design. All right. So now that you've erased the design, right, it'll erase here. So now you'll just have just the lines and the gap, right? So we're going to head back over to the design. And the reason why I do that is because I just don't want the black box to show inside of the design. So we'll go ahead and head over back to the design. Right. And now we just simply will take the nutrition facts, right? And we'll just add it back in here. And that's how you essentially remove the white part. And there's multiple ways to do that. That's the way I like it. It is an extra step, but I like doing it that way the best. And let me just zoom in again. Right. And then you just position it the way you want it to go. So again, I like that. And now I'm just going to, again, shift. And now, because you saved it as a photo, now you can actually move this together And now we have our design, and I have just the way I want it. So I have this here and I have this. And now we're going to head over to Printify, which is a place where you could get your designs actually printed off, or you can save these as a file, as a PNG file, like some of these files here. They're saved as PNGs, and you could just go ahead and hand it over to your customers, right? And you could just hand it off to them. So I'm going to go ahead and go here, and we're going to head over to Printify, and we're just going to download pages 4 and 5. So we already have page 4 here, so we'll do page 5. I'm going to download this as a transparent background. 5, and we'll download this. So we're going to download page 5. All right, so now we downloaded page 5, and I'm going to head over to Printify. So Printify.com is a print-on-demand print company. So if you wanted to connect your Etsy store to a print-on-demand company that will actually fulfill your shipment of your products, you can try Printify.com, and you'll go ahead and click catalog. And when you click catalog, you're going to want to type in mug, and you're going to get a ton of selections of different mugs. All right. So let's do mug. And as you can see, you're going to get a whole selection of mugs. You can pick whichever mug you want. I'm going to go with the bestseller, which is the ceramic mug. And it also gives you the product details and everything like that. So the height and diameter of the mug, we're going to go with 11 ounces. And we're going to click this green button here that says start designing. So the reason why, so another way you can actually do this is if you go into Canva, you can type in 2475 by 1155. But I like bringing in my photos individually because I want to be able to adjust and move them the way I want without it being on a full design. So that's why I create mine first in the 3000 by 3000, and then I just upload from here. So now I'm going to upload the picture, and we're going to upload the super dad picture because that's the first picture that I'm going to actually bring into the design. And you want to make sure, that's why I always do transparent background, because you don't want the white background thing. Okay. So we're waiting for the file to upload. And you want to make sure that the quality of the photo is at least 300 dpi, which Printify will let you know if it is a low resolution photo, which is the cool thing. But as you can see here, it says high resolution. So that is what you want to see. All right. All right. So now we're going to bring this in here. And now I'm going to upload the nutrition facts, right? So now we're going to bring that in. All right. So now I'm going to exit that out, and then I'm going to bring this over. So the great thing about Printify is it does two things. It allows you to look at a preview. And as you can see, you see the mugs here at the bottom. So you can look at the preview of the mug, which is awesome. So it lets you see the left, the right, everything. But I'm going to show you something else that I love because it has a 3D model that it lets you do. So, oh my gosh, I love this. Super dad. And then now we have the Black Father Nutrition Facts, right? And before you go, you're going to make sure that everything is spelt right, everything is good. And also another good thing is it allows you to download the mockup. So if you want to download these as a mockup as well, you can. It has a nice clean white background, so you could remove the background like we've been doing. And then it also shows you like a side by side, which is really cool too, right? So obviously we'll do some different mockups. These mockups, don't really like them, but Printify does allow you to use mockups. But here is the 3D preview that I really like. So I really love to like spin the mug around. So you can actually just get a feel for it. And what I always tell you, if this is your first time using Printify, you definitely want to get a sample, which you can order a sample once you create an account, just so you can look at this. So we're going to look at the preview, and you can zoom in if you want to see it further, but I'm going to look at the 3D at the bottom just because I love to see the way it looks, right? So if you're holding your mug in your left hand or on the right side, right? So this looks really good. I love this a lot. And again, you could get this printed out. Any super dad you can create something like this. So fun, right? And you can see this 3D model at the bottom, which is awesome, right? And this is the actual design. Let's go ahead and zoom out. So I really love this here. And that is pretty much how you would put it all together. And then lastly, if you wanted to go ahead and create your own mockups, what you could do is you can go to photos and you could go ahead and type in African American man holding a mug. And you won't really see a lot of photos inside the Canva library. So you could go ahead over to one of my sites, which is pexels.com, that I like to use. They allow you to use free stock photos, as you can see. And at the top, if you type in African American, you could type in male holding mug. I don't know why the caps lock is on. You will actually get some images, right? And you can actually download these. So I've already downloaded. You'll hit the download button. I've already downloaded these two because these are free options. You can actually also use AI to download some of your own mockups. But for time's sake, we're just going to go back and head over back to what we've already utilized inside of here. And we're going to add these to the actual mockups, right? So we're going to go down, and as you can see, we have a mockup here, and we have one here, and then we have this one as well, right? So we'll use the first two that we actually have in the design. So I'm just going to duplicate this, and I'm going to delete this out. And then I'm going to do the same thing here, and I'm just going to delete this, right? And I'm going to bring both of these up. And now I'm going to go back down to the photo that I'm going to use, which is here. And again, just making sure everything is grouped, which it is. Now I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to place it on the mug, right? You want to make sure that the handle is on the right side. And now I'm just going to make it smaller so it fits on the actual mug. And what I like to do is when I have it here, I like to go ahead and just bring down the transparency just so it's not too dark and it kind of blends into the mug, right? It is a mock-up, so it is fine. And then I just like to line it up as close as possible to how it would look realistically. But it's a mock-up, so your customers can actually just get a feel for how it looks. And I'm going to do the same thing, right, for the actual nutrition facts, right? And I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to make sure I add that here. And again, we're just going to make it smaller, line it up to the actual handle, right? And then again, I'm going to bring the transparency down just a little bit to like 90. As you can see, the more transparency, the further it fades in. So I don't want it to be too faded in, but I don't want it to be too dark either. This mug is kind of like a two-tone mug, but you would want to get it essentially on a white mug. But now you have done some really cool mock-ups, and then I like it to look as on the mug as possible, like just placed on it. And now you could just look at it in bigger mode, right? And here you have it. You have the mock-up of the super dad, and then you have the Black father nutrition fact. So this is really awesome. I really love this. And then you would just go ahead and start making sales. So again, if you like this video, please comment, share, subscribe, and like. Share this to as many people as you can. And yeah, let's go make those Father's Day gifts. And again, there's going to be links below. Make sure you click on the links for the images as well as the sites that I've used in today's video. And I look forward. If you want to see another video or something else done, please leave that in the comments below. And again, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much.